Hello, and welcome to the show that's more concerned with housing rights than a pigeon nesting in your loft apartment. Today, we're diving into why Grainger PLC, a major UK-based residential property company, has been facing significant criticism. This is important because it affects tens of thousands of people across the UK. When a company with as much power as Grainger starts throwing its weight around, it's time to pay attention. We're about to expose the underbelly of the rental market, and trust me, it's not pretty. Let's talk about Grainger's relationship with its tenants. It's giving off some serious, it's not you, it's me vibes. Customer service is about as helpful as a chocolate fireguard. Calls go unanswered, emails disappear, and maintenance requests are slow. Some tenants live in conditions that would make a building inspector weep. Leaky faucets, drafty windows, and a backlog of complaints.
It's been a nightmare. I've called and emailed about the leaky faucet, but it's like talking to a brick wall.
Let's talk rent increases, shall we? Because if there's one thing that's more reliable than the tide coming in, it's Grainger raising the rent. Tenants have been hit with rent hikes that would make your eyes water. We're talking increases that are forcing people to choose between paying their rent and, eating. And the worst part, these rent increases don't seem to be tied to any tangible improvements. It's the same old flat, just with a much bigger hole in your bank account.
I just don't get it. My rent went up by 20% last year, but nothing's changed. I'm paying more for the same old place, and it's really starting to hurt my finances.
Grainger's focus on maximizing shareholder returns is just good business, but at the expense of tenant well-being. Who are they really working for?
It's like playing Monopoly, but bulldozing tenants' needs and collecting hefty dividends.
Funneling money to boost share prices while neglecting repairs. Viewing tenants as numbers, not individuals. Profits over people. Let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the luxury apartment complex that replaced the community centre gentrification. Grainger has developed a reputation for swooping into neighbourhoods, buying up property and redeveloping them.
Improving areas is great, but not at the expense of pushing out long-term residents.
The local butcher shop is replaced with an artisanal cheese shop selling £20 blocks of cheddar.
Change is inevitable, but when it affects affordability and community, it's time to ask tough questions.
Let's be honest, property companies aren't exactly known for being warm and fuzzy. They're often seen as the corporate overlords of the housing market, more concerned with profit margins than providing decent, affordable housing.
When you're constantly in the news for raising rents, neglecting maintenance, and contributing to gentrification, it's hard to shake that image.
The reality is, Grainger needs to do some serious soul searching, and by soul searching, I mean a complete overhaul of their business practices. Because until they start prioritising tenants over profits, they're always going to be seen as the villain in this story. So, there you have it. These are the key reasons why Grainger PLC has faced criticism. From neglecting tenant concerns to prioritising shareholder profits, the company has developed a reputation that's about as appealing as a mouldy basement flat, because everyone deserves a safe, affordable place to live, not just those who can afford Granger's ever-increasing rents. It's time for property companies to be held accountable for their actions and to start putting people before profits.